Deezer.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle. The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
Calling on all young male professionals. Do you wish to live an extraordinary life? Are you tired of the routine and mundane and long for a dynamic, adventurous, and even dangerous life? Do you wish to make your life count and hope to make an impact long after you're gone? Do you wish to live a life of service to society, to country, and to dear Mother Earth? Then you are the one we are looking for. Consider the Society of Jesus. Join the Church's gallant army and turn your world upside down. Call the Jesuits Vocations Promotions Team 426-6101, local 3406. Once again, 426-6101, local 3406. Jesuit Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Are you feeling sore? We can make that better. Tune in to the Ateneo Senior High School's first radio program, SOAR, the Seniors On Air Radio, where you can listen to music you want, straight from our playlists. Don't change that channel yet, because SOAR is ready to put the you in youth. SOAR, Seniors On Air, here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan is now online. See our live feed on facebook.com/Radyo Katipunan. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter at Radyo Katipunan. And subscribe to our YouTube channel at Radyo Katipunan FM for more exclusive content. Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Only here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Join Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle as he delivers to us the preachings of the Sunday's Gospel that's awe-inspiring, yet easy to understand and appreciate. Let us all listen to the Word of God here on The Word Exposed on Air, only on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Welcome to The Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, let's get ready to run down! Radyo Katipunan is now online. See our live feed on facebook.com/Radyo Katipunan. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter at Radyo Katipunan. And subscribe to our YouTube channel at Radyo Katipunan FM for more exclusive content.
Jesuit Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Are you feeling sore? We can make that better. Tune in to the Ateneo Senior High School's first radio program, Soar, the Seniors On Air Radio, where you can listen to music you want, straight from our playlists. Don't change that channel yet, because Soar is ready to put the you in youth. Soar, Seniors On Air, here on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo-katipunan, news, insights, inspiration. Radyo-katipunan, down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo-katipunan, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
The fire we reported at the old fire hall is still burning out.
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted from the daily burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air.
Radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, katipunan, radyo, katipunan, radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, radyo, katipunan, radyo, katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil.
Meron? Ano nga ba ang meron? Paano nga bang mabuhay ng tapat sa meron? Don't you wish you can relive your philo classes? The terror teachers? The terrible oral exams? Or the even terrifying but liberating and life-changing aha moments? Lundagin mo, Beybeh! Here's your chance! Lundagin mo, Beybeh! Kasama ang mga pilosopong sina Jovi Miroy at Ron Capinding. Lundagin mo, Beybeh! Leaping upward, leaping forward. Lundagin mo, Beybeh! Leaping to greater heights, to greater wisdom, to greater magis. Lundag na, Ateneo!
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Yun naman ang
Marami na
Open Symphony number 5.
yung ating regular fans, nandiyan na sila. Hindi sila gaano madami, pero nandiyan na sila.
Nandiyan naman sila? Hindi ko, wala akong para
pero
makita.
regular yan, mga ano. Hindi ko alam kung ilan talaga sila. Pero
binabati natin lahat ng ating regular fans. At sa iyo na makikinig dito pagkatapos ng Lunes, kasi pwede mo naman panoorin to pagkatapos ng araw na ito. Binabati ka namin. Salamat sa iyong pakikinig sa aming programa. Ito ang Lundagin Mo, Beybeh. Kasama si Sir Jovi Miroy, aking mahal na guro at kaibigan. At ngayon po ay magtatalakay na naman tayo ng isang paksa na malapit sa ating kamalayan at puso. At nag-imbita po kami ng mga tutulong sa atin para pag-usapan yun ng mas
Batiin ko
mayaman.
lang, Sir Ron, yung pamangkin ko. She moved up from junior high school to senior high school. Si Marie Ann Fiona Chua. Miroy.
Anong tawag doon? Moving out event, no?
Moving up.
Moving up, no? Ako naman gusto kong batiin ang aking asawa ng maligayang kaarawan. Ayun yung birthday ni Adi.
Happy birthday
Ngayon mismo,
po.
pero pupunta na siya sa office kasi Lunes. Kahapon kami birthday dito.
Akala ko magpapa-community pantry kayo.
Oo nga.
Meron, pasigla na yung community pantry dito sa harap ng village namin eh. So, tutulong na lang kami doon.
Ayun.
So, maraming pansit kahapon na nilagay na namin doon.
Oo, para namang pulot-bukyutan itong ating
Yan na. So yun nga po, nababanggit na rin natin ng community pantry. Meron po tayo, ang ating paksa po ngayon ay tungkol doon. Marami na po ako nababasa yan sa social media, sa Facebook. May mga opinion, may mga pananaw, may mga nakakatuwang pananaw, may mga seryosong pananaw. At palagi ko, yun ang isa sa dahilan ba't namin pinili pag-usapan.
Marami din nakakainis na pananaw.
Marami nakakainis. Yun ang isa, nakakatawa na lang ang tawag ko dun, sir. Pati nakakainis, nakakatawa na lang. Na hindi nakakatawa. Yun ang dahilan namin, kaya gusto namin pag-usapan ngayon. Baka mamaya meron pang ililinaw itong ating pag-unawa sa, kung tawagin namin ay Bayanihang Paminggalan.
Talaga naman, napakalimalikhain naman ang iyong pagsasalin.
Oo, pero sir, aminin ko, hindi ako, yung Paminggalan, available naman yan talaga kahit sa Google Translation.
Hindi ko lang alam kung alam yan ng ating mga
pero maganda. Dahil nga nangyari itong community pantry, nagkaroon tayo ng paumanhin, ng excuse para ipakilala ulit, Paminggalan. Pero nakita ko si Sir Noel Ferrer na isa ring anchor dito sa Radyo-Katipunan. Paminggalan ng bayan naman yung kanya.
Paliwanag natin mamaya kung ano ang paminggalan.
Paminggalan.
Kaya ngayon din ang quincentenaryo ng Battle of Mactan, ang digmaan sa Mactan. So, pakilala natin sila, Sir Ron.
Oo. At ngayon din, ito rin ang aming pinaka-episode bago mag-May 1, kaya may kinalaman.
Dapat nga may kinalaman sa paggawa ang ating episodo, pero lahat ng yan, din naman ito may kinalaman dun sa paggawa.
Pero, kumbaga, sa filosofiya naman, lahat pala magkakaugnay. Yun naman tutuklasan natin. Pero pakilala natin sila. Sir Jovi,
magsimula na tayo sa age before beauty, father, tsaka kasi gender conscious po kami. Alright?
Okay.
So unahin po natin si Father de la Cruz.
Sige po.
Lakas yan. But anyway, good afternoon po sa lahat at lalong-lalo na po yung mga lahat ng taga-subaybay ng 87.9 Katipunan na
radyo-katipunan.
Opo. At maraming salamat po. Ako po si Father Jose de la Cruz po. Ako ang National Vocation Director po ng Redemptorist sa Vice Province of Manila.
Shrine, Sir
Opo,
Ron.
sa Baclaran Shrine po. At maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita sa akin ngayon. Hopefully, I could also share my reflections and
do you remember, Sir Ron, si Father Ino, nung last year din, mga Easter time din natin siya.
Redemptorist din?
Redemptorist din.
Oh, yes.
Father Ino is our superior.
Yes.
All right. And then, meron pa tayong isang kasama who is very famous among the student population.
Yes, oo nga.
Si Iya Marañon, who was the Sanggu president in
2018. Batch 2018. Yung school year na yun, siya ang Sanggu president. And now she's also a part. I don't know anong participation niya.
She'll tell us what she's doing.
Okay.
Right now, yeah.
Iya.
Hi, I'm Iya. Ayun, I'm a Ateneo grad and marami akong ginagawa, I guess.
Yes, at isa sa
and one of them is the community pantry sa Loyola Heights.
Yes. Graduated. Saan ka nagtapos? Ano ang iyong major?
I graduated Development Studies batch 2018. So, ayun.
Yeah. Wow, development studies. Nung ako ay college, bagong-bago yung course na yan. At yan yung pangarap na course dun sa social science part, no, na lahat ng design na gusto ilagay, dilagay nila dyan. Tapos ngayon, alam mo si Leland is also a graduate of that. Yun ang undergrad ni
Sila ang
kaibigan
pasimuno niya.
Malapit sa akin, batch ahead sa akin si Leland. So yun, maraming salamat sa inyong pagpapa-unlock, Father Jose at Iya. Sige, game na tayo. Ang gusto natin pag-usapan ngayon ay Bayanihang Paminggalan. At ang parang pinaka-guiding question or guiding principle natin, ano ang kahulugan ng mga community pantry na ito? So, mas simple munang version, ano ba ang community pantry? Yun muna. Mamaya ano mo ng mga kahulugan. No? Ano ba ang community pantry? Just to define it. Baka yung iba kala nila nagko-community pantry sila. Hindi pala yung community pantry. Para lang kahit na ano yung pinakahanda ninyong definition nito pag sinabing community pantry. Bawa na si Father Jose kasi naka-unmute na siya. Yeah.
Marami marahil ang nabasa na natin na mga sagot kung ano po ang community pantry, pero para to be safe po ay gamitin ko rin po ang naging sharing ng aming superior, si Father Ino Cueto. Siya po ang nag-imbita sa akin. Nais ko lang po sabihin ng kanyang reflection para po makatulong din po sa ating lahat. Ano ba ang diwa ng community pantry? Sinabi po ni Father Victorino Cueto, ang aming superior po ng Redemptorist Manila, ang mga taong may kakayahan ay inaanyayahang mag-alay ng kung anuman ang kanilang makakaya, at ang sinumang nangangailangan ay maaring kumuha lalo na ng kanyang pangangailangan para sa maghapon. Give what you can and take what you have. Ang diwa na ito ay isang diwang Kristiyano. Ipinapaalala sa atin mula sa aklat ng mga gawa ng apostol, ng unang mga Kristiyano, they would sell their possessions and good and distribute the proceeds to all, depending on their needs. Ang mga kauna-unahang Kristiyano ay gagawin ng lahat para lamang walang kapatid na magugutom at mauuhaw. So, ito po ang isang magandang mensahe po ng mga Redentorista ng pananaw po na hindi lamang po ito ang pagbibigay because kailangan lang pong maging maganda ang tingin ng tao sa mga Redentorista o mga pare, pero may pinaguhugutan po itong malalim na tradisyon at malalim din po
ano pala yan, sa gawa.
Opo.
Alam ba natin, Sir Ron, yung gawa?
Ano po sa Acts of the Apostles? Thank you, Father Jose. Miss Iya, ano ba ang paminggalan? Ano bang community pantry sa pagka-unawa mo? Kahit kahawig o dagdag dun sa sinabi ni Father Jose.
I think similar doon sa similar yung idea of take what you can, take what you need, give what you can na principle. And doon naman talaga nakabase yung community pantry. And it's really a community project, even if like it was initiated by several people or individuals. It's the responsibility of the community to keep it going, to make sure that there's something to take. So ayun, parang yun yung pressure, I guess, for us is how to make it truly a community pantry at this point. So, yeah. Ayun.
So I get that this is a very beautiful concept na hindi bagong-bago sa Acts of the Apostles pa lumitaw na. Ang tanong ko ngayon, bakit ngayon itong mga huling buwan, nakaraang buwan lang siya lumitaw? Sa ganda niya. Ang pinakatanong ko sa kanya, what brought this about? Bakit hindi last year? Bakit hindi ko alam kung paano nasagutan yun. Is it a time thing or is it a feelings thing? Anong konteksto?
Sa konteksto, yeah.
Anong usbong o nagbulwak dito? Anong mitsa dito? Kahit sino po, kung sinong handa na at sino mas...
sa aking paniniwala, we need to fully understand na ito nagsimula sa isang laiko, si Patricia Non. At
So pati kayo,
mayroong,
Father, dun sa Baclaran, talagang the inspiration came from
yes,
Patricia.
yes.
Okay.
From the Maginhawa pantry, no? Yeah, yeah.
Oo, yeah.
Oo.
It really came from a laiko, meaning mayroong tinuturo sa aming taong simbahan. I speak for myself as a Redemptorist. But we need to fully understand na nangyari ito dahil kung titingnan natin as of April 25, mayroon ng 997 cases ng COVID at may 16,000 plus death at may almost 8 to 10,000 everyday na new cases. And then, saan pumupunta ang mga tao, hindi na nila alam kung saan sila kukuha ng lakas. There must be a kind of spirit within na nagbigay nito ng wisdom at I don't want to spiritualize it, but ito ang tanda ng pag-asa na sinasabi na wala nang ibang tutulong sa atin kundi tayo lamang, tayong mga Pilipino. At I think ito ang konteksto dahil nahihirapan na at masyado ng on the brink of chaos ang ating sitwasyon. Kaya there must be a hope, no, coming from us, no.
That's ano, so teka, anuhin muna natin. So yung maybe because of the nagkaroon ng MECQ at ECQ ulit at may bawal na ulit lumabas sa mga manggagawa at kaya talagang ano na ang gutom siguro, no, Sir Ron? And si Father was saying lumala yung sitwasyon ng homelessness sa bandang iyon ng Kapuluan, Father.
Yeah, because we are doing also with the urban mission team at yung pagluluto para sa mobile kitchen, our Mother Perpetual Help Mobile Kitchen, na-observe namin na akala namin I really eat, but every day nag-iiba ang evolve ng homelessness, street dwellers sa mga lansangan ng Manila. Ngayon, dagdagan ng COVID, marami na muli yung nawalan ng trabaho, hindi na makabayad sa boarding house, nawalan na, hindi makauwi dahil sa mga maraming protocol. So ang last recourse nila ay pupunta sa lansangan to beg. Kaya ito, lumabas itong sa konteksto. Ito kasi yung woundedness ng ating mundo eh. Ito na yung konteksto ng woundedness, sugatang mundo. Kaya dyan na yung lumitaw mismo sa atin through Patricia ng yung inspiration ulit.
Yes. No.
Ikaw, Iya.
The darkness. Yes,
ikaw,
Iya, ikaw naman.
Itong sabi ni Father, inspirasyon yun, no? Yung, alam ko, para siyang inspirasyon na, oo nga, no? Kasi hindi naman siya unfamiliar. Kasi nga, Acts of the Apostles pa meron na, pero si Patricia nun apparently modeled it first, no? Pero kumusta, Iya? Ikaw naman, dito sa Loyola Heights, you can speak for your own group lang, hindi naman kailangan encompassing niya.
I think when we started, same lang din yung principle that we wanted na we were inspired by what happened in Maginhawa. And so we also wanted to replicate it here considering na ang daming dumadayo ng Maginhawa just to get food. So we decided to put one up here para hindi na din umalis yung mga tao and deal with the very long lines. But yeah, parang agree din ako sa idea na it only came about now kasi there's some sense of absurdity that we're facing right now kasi last year we were faced with unprecedented things that we kind of as a people and as a country where we just kind of like I guess parang took it for not granted, pero just took it for what it is. We really didn't know how to deal with this, with the pandemic, and parang for the longest time, we were just really trusting with the experts, with IATF and whatnot. But then coming to this year and finding ourselves same time March na mag-ECQ ulit, tas MECQ, and parang there's just this weird why is this happening again? And may some sort of frustration din na a lot of people can't sustain this and kahit yung mismong ayuda na binibigay ng gobyerno hindi nakakarating. I can speak for myself na hindi ko pa nakuha yung ayuda that we are
Ako,
due.
wala din ako.
Diba? Wala. And so parang can you expect people who are actually parang expecting that for their sustenance for the next week or so. And so may ganong absurdity na we kind of just said na, you know what, whatever, parang let's just make this kasi there's probably like 100, more than 100 families.
Talk us through what happened. Were you a habitué of Maginhawa before? Did you enjoy the nightlife in Maginhawa?
Oh, well, andun yung work ko sa my teacher's village.
Maginhawa talaga,
So it's
kain na
really,
naman
yeah.
talaga.
Paborito ko rin yan. Paborito ko rin yan. Hindi lang night
Kaya
out.
nakakatuwa talaga na doon
Pati
nagsimula.
weekends. Family mahilig na. Yeah. Pero I say it's beautiful kasi it actually concretized something na nasa desire na natin noon pa. I speak for myself now. Kasi alam mo, pandemic, last year pa, pag may dumaan na tubero rito, binibigyan mo ng anumang meron ka. Kapag may nag-deliver ng gasol, may saging ako, sobra, bibigay ko na. Nandun na talaga yung force within every person. Parang ang beautiful dito. Oo nga, no? Yan, oh. So, kasi meron yung mga meron, may bibigay, nagbibigay. Diba? So, baka may pagkaroon lang ng sistema. So, kumbaga, it's also a need, quote-unquote need ng mga magbibigay na natugunan, no? Saan ba namin pwedeng i-channel? Ang hirap naman tumawag sa OVP.
So ano yan, Iya? So you heard about the community pantry in Maginhawa, and then what happened? How did you make that decision?
Well, actually, parang we just decided, hindi nga siya naging discussion parang it was more of, tara, gawin natin. Mas ganun lang talaga siya. But then, yeah, parang not
so
much
spontaneous
discussion.
talaga siya, spontaneous.
Yeah, I would say the character is really spontaneous.
Yeah.
But also, I would like to add that this community pantry ay ginagawa na rin po ng Redemptorist, pero alam po natin na sa perspektibo po ng ating simbahan ay tayo ay nagbibigay. The record shows, lalo-lalo na ang mga Redemptorist ay patuloy na nagbibigay sa lahat pong sakuna na nangyayari sa ating bansa. At hindi lang po ito pinapahayag. It was just because of this phenomenon na nangyaring ito.
Yeah. So kay na Father, parang ano kasi sila Father parang nasa pulso nila yung
gumagawa naman po ang simbahan.
Oo. Baka ako huminto. Ako
sa kasagsagan lang yung kasagsagan ng LSI.
LSI is ano ulit, Father, ang LSI? Stranded individuals.
Local stranded individuals. At kasagsagan na yun ay patuloy na at marami nang happening ang health ng simbahan. Even the Universal Church, even the Caritas, no? I'm wearing because I'm partnership with the Caritas. We are doing everything, no? Ito nga highlight talaga.
Pero parang dito sa community pantry, meron ding kung gusto mong kumuha, you can take, but you can also give, and that's we saw that, no?
Yeah,
kahit napaka-pobre na nila, meron silang inaambag.
Okay. Bakit? Di ako political, pero it is really just an innocent person's question. No? Bakit convenient sa ilan, or bakit nakikita ng iba na may connection to sa communism? But why is it parang gano'n? But yung red tagging, bakit pa madidikit?
Si Father naka-red nga
Naka-red din si Iya.
Red.
Bakit pwedeng maidikit to dun sa maiugnay ito sa red tagging? It's really a very inquisitive question lang. Wala akong, kasi gusto ko rin maintindihan, why is it easy?
Bakit naging gan reaction, no? Gusto
maintindihan
ni Sir Ron.
Bakit pwedeng may reaction na gano'n?
Yes. Personal reflection.
Very personal reflection. Naalala ko rin dati yung libro ng Theology of Liberation. Very easily raw, kahit tinan mo yung librong yun, yung design na yun, pwede rin basahin ng iba na Marxist, gano'n. So baka mamaya it's really a matter of philosophy, hindi talaga party, no? Hindi ko but I don't know, baka mayroon lang. Bakit pwede siyang babasa ng gano'n? Yung mga gustong bumasa ng gano'n sa yung community pantry, ba't pwedeng basahin ng gano'n? Anyone can answer.
Actually, siguro medyo funny lang na connection. That the quote used yung kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan, tas magbigay ayon sa batay sa ano yun? Sa kakayahan. So yung sentiment na yun, I believe Marx had something similar said in the German ideology. And so it's a very common quote naman.
Yeah.
But then I think that's also like one of the strengths. But at the same time din kasi the concept of the community pantry is also, I think at this point, is very political. People are putting this up everywhere. It's mushrooming everywhere precisely because of the failed response of the pandemic. And I can imagine how how a very insecure governance and administration could handle that kind of response. Kasi alam mo yun, parang people are going out in droves to go to these community pantries, slightly ignoring like the community quarantine restrictions. And so ayun, I think may sore point na press yung community pantries when ngayon.
Yeah. So may naipasilip na kakulangan at desperation naman sa kanila. May desperation dito at yung isa dalawang medyo
kasi hindi naman talaga rubber shoes ang pangangailangan ng tao ngayon.
Ba't ba nasabi rubber shoes?
Wala, hindi ko alam. Father, kayo, paano niyo sasagutin yung
sasabihin niya palagi, di ba, in our studies, when there is a thesis, there is antithesis. Kung may mabuti, mayroon talagang mangyayaring iba. No? But I think this is also a challenge because on the onset of the internet, no, yung maraming platforms ng communications na nagkakaroon ng iba-ibang misinterpretations and interpretations ang mga nangyayaring naririnig natin sa ating lipunan, no? So I think
pero ang layo naman yata, Sir Ron, sa communism kasi parang
iba
that shows na hindi nila alam kung ano yung komunismo. Galing sila nga magkakaibigan lang sila, wala yata sila magawa sa dorm nila. Kaya yun ang dahilan.
At saka ko yung thesis, antithesis na sinasabi ni Father Jose de la Cruz, akala ko nga itong community pantry ang antithesis. May thesis na eh. So parang ito na yung kabilang panig na ito yung lumitaw dun sa hindi maganda, may lumitaw na maganda. So bakit lalagyan pa ng, parang yun ang naisip ko. Eto naman, itulak ko lang hindi rin to political, no? So sabihin na natin, just to make it clear, hindi kayo group of friends lang sina Iya. Sina Father Jose Redemptorist talagang yan ang essence ng kanilang
hindi sila group of friends.
So, hindi sila group of friends. Pero, hindi sila komunista talaga. Wala na yan. Alam ko.
Kasi Sir Ron, pag communist yun, ang presupposition nun, yung estado, yung dapat mamahagi.
Yun na nga. Anyway, sabihin na natin.
Welfare. Hindi nga eh.
Pero kung nagkataon nga, tanungin ko lang sa kanila, sila kung nagkataon na member ka ng NPA, CBP, tapos gumawa ka ng quarantine, masama ba yan? Kahit na sabihin natin totoo na yung nagpasimuno nito o yung mga gumaya rito ay totoong NPA, may nilalabag bang batas yun na nagkumuha sila ng quarantine?
Hindi nila alam yun. Ako na lang sasagot.
Sige.
Siguro ang tanong ni Sir Ron is, may paglabag ba kapag may
even if it were so, no? Yeah.
I'm not an expert.
The other question we can ask is, Father, hindi kayo natakot doon sa red tagging? Hindi kayo na...
We are used in red tagging. Simula pa nung tinatag ang Redemptorist, palagi na kaming na-red tag ng mga terorista. But anyway, I do believe that when you are doing something good for the people, ay wala kang nilalabag. Wala kang nilalabag doon.
Or maybe even the protocol can be can be violated kasi nga mamatay din naman yun.
Marami nga nagsasabi, pipiliin ko pang magka-COVID, pumila, kumuha ng pagkain kaysa mamatay, natirik ang mata.
Oh, I think that's something that really people should think about, no?
But of course, the challenge for us as Filipinos, no, because we are also being challenged and tayo ay hinahamon palagi na maging din sa mga protocol because it is also for the good of us, no? Protection din natin 'yon. Pero sometimes nangunguna pa rin yung ipapakain ko sa aking pamilya, sa mga mahal ko sa buhay na walang-wala na talaga akong makuha. So I think yan ang dapat na tugunan na root cause, no? Hindi yung paglabag sa protocol. Titingnan po ano ba ang nangyayari, bakit kailangan lumabas ang tao, kumuha ng pagkain, pumila.
Siguro yun na sila kasi nga gusto nila ng 'di ba, disiplina, martial
But anyway, bago natin tuloy, wag natin itigil itong usapan natin. Meron ding nakikibahagi sa ating mga tagapakinig, sumasagot na doon sa mainit nating tanong ngayon. Anyway, una si Miss Marisa Villasantas sa Real. Magandang hapon po, Father Jose. Kumusta na po kayo? Si Les Mendiola, magandang hapon po. Ito si Kevin Licop, na binabati ko palagi dati na nasa, dito sa show natin, nag-participate sa atin. Sabi niya, hindi po ba nakabaling rin sa hindi pagkakaintindi ng mga Pinoy sa mga komunista? For us, communism seems to be this devil or symbol of terrorists in the mountains, raiding villages, etc. When in actually, communism is a revolutionary or call to a revolution to seize the means of production. So, when primarily, it's more of a class struggle according to Marx. Yeah, I agree with Sir Miroy. Hindi ko alam anong punto nung sinabi mo yung nag-agree siya. And then he asked...
it's really the state. Yun ang punto ng komunismo, no? Na yung Estado dapat may responsibilidad na magbigay ng social welfare. Baliktad nga eh. Yung komunidad na nga ang gumawa na kanilang responsibility. Paano magiging komunismo yan?
Sige sir, linawin mo pa nga yan. Para lang kasi marami rin nagtatanong yan.
Dahil ako naman ang
ikaw naman ang may marks dito eh. Okay.
Yung unang naman kasi, yung talaga naman yung sinasabi ni Marx, totoo, yung na species being ang tao, no? Na we belong to a community. Hindi, at pinapakita nito yon, no? Hindi naman kahit anong political color mo, kahit nagugutom ka o hindi ka nagugutom, bahagi ka ng community. And when something like this happens, bakit ka na hindi sasali sa inisyatibo, di ba? So, yun lang talagang medyo may ibang hangarin ang hindi aayon doon, no? So, yun ang talagang pinaka-Marxist na nangyayari ngayon. Pinapakita nito na bahagi tayo ng isang komunidad. At,
so, magbibiro na lang ako. Pag sinabi, nagko-community pantry ka, komunista ka. Ang sagot mo lang, talaga.
Kasi wala namang masama sa sinabi ni Marx na yun.
Kasi po yung yung word na CPP, di ba? Communist Party of the Philippines. Kaya po nagkaroon siguro ng connection yan sa ay CPP dahil Community Pantry of the Poor.
Masyado silang overreading.
Totoo yung overreading.
Tapos I think si Ana Patricia, no? Ay, APN daw ang initial. So, i-shuffle mo lang.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Actually, yun talaga parang a point siguro of analysis then kung bakit nililink din sa communism is because this government is pouring billions of pesos for the counterinsurgency campaign, and they are pulling at all stops at any kind of whiff and even if na they're grasping at straws, baseless accusations, gagawin talaga nila. And parang I agree doon sa point na parang being a communist isn't bad, and I think like in the context of the Philippines then kasi when you say someone is a communist, it's always linked to that kind of red scare, to that kind of fear doon sa it's been decades of that counterinsurgency. And so ayan doon din tayo napupunta na parang tagging someone a communist is also not just like I know it could be baseless, but at the same time it's very dangerous considering that people do die, and ayun, maraming namamatay kasi sinasabihan sila at pinapatay sila bilang mga
It's a way to scare
komunista.
them.
Yeah, it is a way to control and scare a lot of the people.
Yeah.
So,
Pero yun nga, kung gutom ka na.
actually, takot na talaga yung mga taong pumunta dyan. Kaya kahit takutin mo patungkol dyan, takot na nga ako sa buhay ko eh. Anyway, malinaw na sa akin. Maraming salamat sa pagliwanag sa akin yan sa red tagging, yung communism, yung Marxist. Salamat din Kevin Licop. When people don't understand what communism is, sabi ni Sir Miroy. Yun daw yung,
It's about time we find out what it is.
Yeah. Tapos si Sir Ron, sorry, medyo nubok. Wild. So, nagpa-participate sa atin si Kevin Licop sa ating palabas. Nagtutuwa siya. So, balik tayo ulit doon sa community pantry. Ako naman yung operations naman. So nakikita ko minsan may mahabang pila. Sorry, hindi ko nasusubaybayan kasi ayaw ko rin pag naubos, paano yun? Paano ba? Pag naubos, di kawawa naman yung pumila. Parang operations naman ako, no? Kasi sa haba ng pila minsan, hindi mo matansya kung merong si number 72, meron ba nga abutan? Parang gano'n.
May nauubusan ba?
Parang gano'n ba?
Pagdating nila, wala na.
Help me understand.
Siguro dapat ako mag-immersion, magpipila ako.
Ako rin nga. Nakikita ko sa harap na subdivision namin, nakikita ko. Pero nakikita ko yung habang pila. Tapos ngayon, nagulat ako kahapon, Sunday, wala. Ba't wala? Paano naging wala? Naubos lahat kahapon? Hindi ko naintindihan masyado. Operations naman tinatanong ko ngayon. Siguro, tapos si Father, or si Father Jose, kung ano man. Sino mauna?
Okay, sige. I can go first. Siguro yung operations for the first few days, as in, sobrang kulang yun when we first started out. I think, bumili lang kami ng konting dilata and a bit of veggies. Tapos, ayun na. But then, in minutes, naubos siya. Kasi medyo wild talaga yung need, and nahirapan kami tansyahin, and it only took like a few days to get the right amount na ilalagay namin sa pantry every day. Ayun, so it's around 160 kilograms of veggies every day for one pantry. We have an extension kasi nag-extend kami doon sa along Xavierville naman to reach other communities.
Where is it located?
The
So that if
original
they want
one.
to give.
Yeah, the original one ay nasa Barangay Loyola Heights, Barangay Hall. Doon sa harap.
Shoppersville.
Sa likod na siya.
Sa likod.
Sa likod. Sa may Esteban Abada.
Yung sa may, yung...
Oo. Nakapasok ka. Maganda doon, sir. May waiting shed. May waiting shed.
Yeah. Sa likod nun. Sa Abada side. And yung second namin na pantry ay sa Xavierville, along Xavierville.
So dalawa na siya.
Dalawa na siya. Kasi maraming we had to disperse the crowd somehow. Kasi ang count namin was around 200 families ang pumipila every time may drop. Ngayon may regular drops na kami. May schedules na kami na ayos kasi we're really trying to control the crowd and to make sure na the communities na super affected by the pandemic yung nakakakuha doon sa pantry.
So when they found out, people immediately gave. Na-overwhelmed ba kayo dun
sa... Yeah! As in, not just in kind, pero ang daming cash. As in, ang daming dumadaan na cash. So kami yung nag-extra effort to go to the groceries, source veggies. So medyo matabaho. Parang unlike Maginhawa. Alam ko sa Maginhawa kasi puro in-kind yung drops doon. So marami talagang supplies from the get-go. Pero for us, like every morning, kailangan namin make sure na may veggies in the pantry. So mas day-to-day operations talaga.
So it must veggies, you said. Must veggies.
So yeah. Ako nga, amazed ako. How do you know the right, quote-unquote, right amount? So how isn't it always unpredictable?
Yeah. May actually may debates nga kami inside the volunteers kasi meron kaming parang volunteers chat where we talk about the updates, the finances, and everything. And may debate nga doon about whether should we pack the veggies or should we just keep it as it is, then let people take. And yung naging resolution doon ay we can just pack it, pero walang limit to how many packs they would get. Alam mo yun? Parang it's just to make sure na alam natin yung amount. It's just really to make the data gathering easier for us to deal with the day-to-day operations. So mas naging ganun yung setup namin in the pantry.
Father Jose, sa inyo po, sa mga sarili nyong distribution na ganyan, paano kung nagkulang na? Sabi, pasensya na po. Paano po ba?
It's okay, it's okay. Yung setup namin ay nasa loob ng National Shrine, no? And then in coordination with the congregation and then the Permanent Commission on Apostolic Solidarity Assistance. So mayroon na kaming mga stocks.
So Father,
rice.
Am I right to say na ito na yung official? Hindi, meron din sa Manila Cathedral, no?
But this one, I think it's Redemptorist,
Right.
Our Mother of Perpetual Health Community Pantry. And then we have resources. Kaya nga, yun sa gabi ay pinapak na yung mga bigas, yung mga tuyo, mga sardinas. And then the mga vegetables ay binibili sa Divisoria plus yung mga donations from devotees, mga faithful followers ng Panginoon, maraming nagbibigay. So, ang sistema ay yung mga vegetables ay nilalagay sa table and then yung mga pack na mga goods. And then if that will for example 10 mag-start 10 a.m. in the morning and then ang haba na ng pila. So me as in charge of the protocol, I make sure there's a distance, social distancing. They are wearing their face shield, face mask, and then they line up properly. And then kung ano kahaba mayon, it's depende sa darating sa ano. And we are always believing in the yung God's providence, no? Makasya naman siya. And then if the goods, always monitoring with the radio. And then if kunti na lang yung mga natitira, yung mga dumarating ay na-advise na I'm so sorry, kunti na lang yung
Madali naman siguro makarating ang balita.
And then suddenly ay makasya naman, and then ma-understand naman ng iba yung mga hindi makakakuha.
Pero siguro din yan, ewan ko kung meron kayong mga instances na yung mga nauubusan, binibigyan na nakakakuha.
Mayroon po kasi yung iba ay nag-share din sila. Sige, sa'yo na yung 2 itlog, akin na lang yung sardinas. Sa naririnig mo, no? And then sa'yo yung bigas. So, there's always that generosity in each heart of the Filipino people, no? So I think yun yung tanggalin natin na pag may pumipila, hindi ibig sabihin nun. Kaya nga, ang affirmation nitong community pantry, nababago yung values natin eh. Kukuha lang ako ng kaya kong kainin. And then, kahit piso, 5 piso. Like for example, there is an old woman, no? And then pumipila, Father, I only have 1 peso. Ilalagay ko lang po ito. Yan lang po ang kaya ko. Okay na po yan,
For me,
Lola.
that's the part that is radical.
I think there is a changing of values here, no? Na magandang mensahe. Kasi yung act, hindi yun sa laki eh. Sabi ko nga, hindi yun sa laki o maliit na pagbigay eh. Yung act of giving it and sharing, I think yun yung mababago at makikita ng mga next generation. And if we are always doing that, marami tayong pantry magagawa each day kasi maraming tumutulong at may kumukuha din. So hindi talaga magugutom.
Correct. So Iya, you said that the challenge is to make it a real community pantry. Why?
Yes.
Dahil Lundagin Mo Beybeh naman ito. Why are you making that distinction? Bakit hindi pa ba siya community pantry?
Ano yung real? community?
I guess like taking off from what Father said, very interesting din kasi at this point, may mga comments then from organizers na the essence of the pantry shouldn't be like a feeding program na may namimigay, may kumukuha, but rather it's a mutual effort, mutual aid nga eh. These efforts are called mutual aid efforts. And so, ayun din, at this point kasi we're also experiencing that. Kaya ang daming pumipila. These are people na wala na din mabibigay. Kaya nga sila pumipila at dinadayo yung mga pantries at this point. And so, ayun, parang I make that distinction na hindi pa siya true community pantry because there is still that missing collective responsibility. Parang
sobrang taggutom pa ngayon eh. So marami pa yung need
marami
lang.
pang need, and that's what we need to fill in, and that's what we need to address at the moment. But we do understand now we have to make efforts to build that collective responsibility na it shouldn't be at like hindi lang sa mga times of crisis tayo nagsa-step up for each other, but rather it's an everyday thing for us.
Pero
So
yung sinasabi nga ni Father, yung suddenly, ay, sa'yo na lang itong isa sa mga gulay ko, isa sa mga delata ko. Kahit yung mga nakapila, no? Pati sila meron ring sense of generosity, kahit na, kasi nga may mga nawalan eh. And I can also see sa social media, may nakunan, hidden camera, hindi siya nagpo-post, na nag-aalok siya ng mga taho niya. Yung may mga, those who are also definitely are finding these times really challenging are trying their best to
Yes.
So parang yata ang real pantry, maglalagay din ako para kasi kailangan ko to. Parang ganun, parang pati ako mag-i-impok ako rito kasi dapat manatiling buhay ito.
yes, yes.
Para for when I cannot sustain myself also. Parang ganun yata yung nangyayari.
First siguro, at first, mapila sila, kukuha sila, that kind of instinct, it's a relief. Kailangan kong kumuha for my survival. But the second day, the following day, there is already a changing of consciousness and values. I will give also for the next naman na mapipila.
That's very important, no, Father, na yung sense na abandonment. I don't know who abandoned us.
What a word! Abandonment, sir. Abandonment.
Parang we're here pala for each other.
Name it.
Abandonment.
Yung ano lang din, yung siyempre titigil din yung pantry dahil of course it need a lot of preparations, yung marketing, yung mga tao na nagre-repack, magpapahinga din. But nandun pa rin yung espiritu na pag mayroong nakaipon at na-repack, ay continuous naman po yun. Dahil lalong-lalo na po sa experience dito sa National Shrine, people are always generous to, Father, ito, ipapadala ko ito, Father. This early morning, mayroong 50 na egg trays na dumating, may bigas, may
kasi minsan din, Sir Ron, yung relief effort, para din siyang status symbol. Oh, I gave this much. My name is on this list. Pero ito wala eh. It's really, I think in that sense.
Ito lahat aking
in spirit of, the spirit of inspiring each one.
Yeah.
No? Invoking again that spirit of inspiring and sharing. Kaya nga sinasabi ko palagi na kung may virus na COVID-19, dapat magkaroon tayo ng virus na COM3. 19. Ano yun, Padre? Virus din. I-virus natin yung community pantry at i-virus natin ang pag-share at pag-donate.
Yes.
Panglaban na.
Liban sa pag-share at pag-donate, speaking of operations pa rin, para magpatakbo ng isang pantry, lalo na yung pinipilahang pantry, narinig ko, anong mga kailangan? May volunteer din para mag-repack, mag-inventory, magmalengke, mag-marshal ng distancing at ng face mask. Ano po ba? O di naman stricto, no? Pero ideally, sana meron ding tumitingin dito pag nangyari. So dapat yata isang barkada nga, hindi lang pwedeng solo flight ang magpapasimuno niya. Yeah, Iya, you're nodding kasi yun na, kailangan may tumao.
In fact, one of you is a Kilo Major.
Yeah.
Hindi ko alam ba't siya Well, of course.
Nag-grocery run siya.
Grocery run.
Ano mga iba pang papel, no? Kasi, of course, may mga magbibigay. At yun ang at the core of it, yung mga sharer and generous people, no? Pero yung iba pang manpower nito para gumana ng mabuti at mas efficient, ano itong mga to, Iya?
Yun, yung line facilitation, social distancing. Marami ding residents kasi na very particular about the lines, and so we have to also accommodate those comments. And ayun, parang on top of that, yung repacking, grocery runs, and nga, that you mentioned, lahat yun. As in, lahat yun. And for the first few days kami lahat yun. before dumami yung mga tao. But then, and no, before nag-join in at talaga yung barangay. So, ayun talaga. Parang it's
So
a real
ito
community
meron ng
effort.
with the local barangay.
Mm-mm.
I see.
Talaga. Nice.
Sa Shrine naman, mga ministrya, volunteers, we have a lot of volunteers. So, napakaganda din po kasi alam naman natin sa puso nating mga Pilipino, pag mayroong mga ganito, immediately naman yan sila dumadating kahit di mo natawagan. Father, we will going to help, no? I think maganda din po yung kanina na kita ko sa Facebook ni interview ni Kierly Gaspi. Sabi niya, mahalin mo ang iyong ginagawa upang hindi ka mapapagod.
Actually, Confucius yata yan eh. Love your job and you will never need to work. Parang something like that. Pagmahal mo, or si Khalil Gibran yata.
Yeah.
Masama.
Sabi pa daw niya, do what you love, walang magugutom.
Yeah. Yung ano ba yung isa pang tanong ko?
So meron kayong nakikita nga, I mean, the most obvious question is still when will we do this?
Yeah, actually, yun din ang tanong ko. Salamat, Sir Jovi. Mawawala ba ito? Ibig sabihin, before, hanggang kailangan siya, ibig sabihin, malalas pagbato at bigla ano nakikita ninyo? Pwede ba anong pwede makawala rito? Dami kong tanong, no? Pero parang yun, in that spirit. Saan to nakasalali? Bakit siya umaandar at paano siya pwedeng mawala? O kung mawawala man siya? Kahit sino, kay Father Jose o kay Iya, sino sumagot?
Mawawala siya in a sense dahil syempre kung wala nang magbibigay, wala nang generous edi syempre mauubusan din yung stock. Pero I believe itong kind of values ay instinct na sa ating puso, magi-evolve siya to another phase, another community way of doing, sharing to sa ating pandemya ngayon.
Kasi pakiramdam ko, Father, nagsisimula pa lang eh. Di ba? Pagsisimula, suddenly, hindi ko alam suddenly, ang birthday blowout ng isang tao ay pantry na lang. Parang, ibig sabihin, hindi ko minamasama yun Parang dati kasi, kahit wala pang COVID, yung mga debut, gagawin ko rito. Magpupunta na lang ako sa institutions, di ba? Pero ito suddenly, all this of generosity ay so parang marami pa, may mga nakapila pang bibigay, mga tao, mga kumpanya, parang na hindi pa sila makamobilize agad kasi bagong-bago pa lang ito. So, iniisip ko nga paano kung yung sinasabi ni Father na mauubos yung magbibigay, still begs the question, mauubos ka ba? Iya, what do you think?
Well, definitely, like, seeing from a perspective of a person who does development projects, magkakaroon talaga ng donor fatigue at some point. Like, well, now we're experiencing it now. Na umuundi talaga yung donations per day, ganon. But then, at the same time, I agree na the only way talaga na matitigil to ay if people really do stop giving completely. The point, I think yun din, might discomfort then a lot of the organizers ng mga community pantries to be comfortable with the fact na ubos yung pantry. I mean, at the same time, parang, okay, ubos yung pantry, wala tayong makukuha. But at the same time, you should look at the pantry as an empty pantry as a symbol of someone's need has been fulfilled. And so, I think like may ganun ding sense na okay lang naman na hindi maging sustainable yung pantry eh. I mean, kaya nga we're doing this is because it's just we're pushed to the limit. But at the same time din kasi parang okay lang naman na hindi sustainable. The point is we cultivate that parang responsibility for each other. And I think that's one of the things na the biggest lesson I think that we're going to get from the community pantry. And I agree then na magkakaroon to ng ibang mukha in whatever shape or form. Parang some pantries are already looking into making soup kitchens, establishing food banks in their local jurisdictions. And so
others are talking about community gardens.
Yes, exactly. So nag-iiba din talaga yung mukha nung effort, but then the spirit of the collective responsibility remains.
Yeah.
Kasi yung nga natin doon, yung, di ba sa theology, there's always a principle of theology we encounter. No? We gave a space for us to encounter each one. And then there's a values out of it. And then that sense of encounter, ang fruits noon, mawala man yon, pero yung memories na we encounter ay mag-remain, then we will replicate that different and many encounters along the way.
Apparently, Patricia noon is part of the Tulong Dunong, Sir Ron.
Oh yes, yes. Oh,
Nag-i-evolve.
Tulong Dunong. Para lang sa kaalaman ng iba, yan yung Tulong Dunong is a program sa high school kung saan yung mga estudyante ay nagtuturo sa elementary public schools ng mga bata. At the end of that, pag-recommenda yung mga bata kung sino yung pwedeng maging scholar sa high school. At yun ang tawag doon. Pag isa ka sa mga napili na maging scholar sa high school lang, kahit na anong high school na uukol, kasi may pababae, may panlalaking high school, yun ang tawag doon, tulong-tulong scholar. So pwede natin masabi na si Patricia, si Miss No, ay nakaranas din ng ganyang pagkakawang gawa, no? Kaya siguro
sometimes talaga you just need someone to give you a push, di ba?
And I think yung mga nagawa ni Patricia ay isa sa mga mukha yan ng community pantry, no? So, and I think ang isa ding challenge siguro itong community pantry is a critique, no? Talagang it's a critique for what is happening around us. Using the idea of Bishop Ambo of Caloocan, dati ang cardboard, di ba? Yung karton, may wag tularan, no? Patay. Always the message of cardboard is patay. Walang buhay. Pero nagkaroon ng dahil sa pantry, it's a critic again, yung cardboard naman, yung karton ay nagbibigay na siya ng buhay.
Magbigay ay sa kaya yun ang uso ngayon na nakasulat sa cardboard. Parang nabura na niya yung dating essence ng cardboard noon na warning siya sa mga wag tularan.
Wag tularan.
Sir Ron, ikaw ba ay makikibahagi sa community pantry?
Yes, sabi ko nga dati pa, lalo na pag may nandito, meron akong electrician na regular, maraming sira palagi bahay ko. Last year pa, meron tubero ako palagi na, at saka kahit yung park boy lang, meron ka talagang sense of I want to give more kasi mahirap ang buhay ngayon, ganun. Kahit na mahirap din ang buhay ko, parang gusto mo lang. So yung community pantry, easily, sa harap ng subdivision namin, may 2 tray na itlog, bigay mo na yung 1 kalahati, 10 na lang yung sa'yo. Parang ganun. Kasi, di ba, parang yun ang nararamdaman mo na kailangan Yes, sir. In fact, sabi ko, it's somehow a need. Parang, ano ba pwede kong gawin? Alam ko ang hirap-hirap, pero wala ka naman, hindi mo alam gagawin. So community pantry somehow provided a channel. Hindi ko naman suffice the need. Provided a channel for that whatever level of generosity you have. Nandiyan naman.
So the most basic thing dito ay mesa. May mesa ka. Ganun ba, Iya? May mesa, tapos merong ano pa ang pinaka-basic para
tapos pag umuunlad na, meron ng konting bubong. May tent na. Tapos yan na. Yan. Nakita ko parang lumaki ng lumaki tent. Iba-ibang klase. So, ibig sabihin, dinodonate lang. Para hindi maarawan yung mga ibibigay. So, yeah. Ano ba sagot doon? I mean, hulaan ko lang. May tao, may
Ayun lang talaga, as in, yung goods na ibibigay, yung table, maglatag. Actually, may binibigay kaming guide na ginawa rin ng mga nag-organize and supporters of this.
Parang template?
Parang siya, parang ito yung steps to take. And very simple lang siya, as in, maghanap ka ng kasama.
Where can they find that? You
can find it kasi kinalat namin But,
it's a leaflet?
Yeah, it's like a leaflet. Pero meron siyang digital version sa Mako Micropress on Facebook.
So James, maybe we can put that up at some point.
Yeah. But among question ulit. Iya, Father, tinatanong ko paano yung ginawa, ano yung mga kumusta kayo doing this? Kasi ako, di ko pa ginagawa fully, no? Hindi pa ako active participant, no? So marami pa nakapilang manpower. But ano pang feeling? I can imagine, kayo na lang sumagot. Anong pakiramdam? Being part of this or initiating this or participating in this for it to continue?
Actually, ang pag-start ng pantry ay mahirap siya dahil you have to think always of the system, the process. But if you always see what you are doing, it's part of your life, of who you are to help. I think that's love and commitment and fulfillment and inner peace. Kasi hindi mababayaran yung ngiti ng matanda eh. Sasabihin niya, Father, alam mo, wala na kaming makain. Kayo ang nagbigay. Maraming salamat po. I think that kind of word will melt your hearts and you could always say na mayroon pa akong maibibigay pa. Not because I'm a priest, but as a human person, mayroon pa tayong maibibigay. Kaya nga makakayanan natin eh, yung virus na ito eh. Could we create a virus pantry and sharing also?
Correct.
Meaning of life.
Yeah. Ikaw, Iya. So, kami, from afar, kasi sabi, ang bait naman ninyo. Pero kayo, ano nararamdaman ninyo? Hindi, alam ko, hindi nyo binibingwit yung papuring yun. No? Pero yun talaga eh. Pero I wonder, how do you feel? How are you doing this?
Actually, yung comment ko dito is, wala lang, chill lang talaga. hindi siya mahirap for me.
Iya went into development work. When did you make that decision? When
well, since I shifted into DS, parang set na ako doon. But then parang after college din kasi I found myself organizing a labor union. Parang I've been through a lot of things, organizing a strike. And so, nung pagdating dito sa pantry, parang, chill lang. For the first time.
Mas madali.
Mas madali
You don't
talaga.
have to deal with management.
Yeah. And parang, ayun, I guess parang, ang weird lang din sa akin pag may nagte-thank you kasi this isn't from me, this is really from the community. I'm just here, taga-bili lang ako and whatever. Pero ayun, parang what keeps me going is that we need to fulfill that need. Parang mas cerebral ako about it na may nagugutom and we have to do something about it. Like I just can't sit here and do nothing. So ayun.
May nagugutom.
Yeah, at yun yung mabait. Sabi, ang bait mo naman. Kasi yun nga, even it's very cerebral, it defies my logic na may nagugutom, tas wala akong gagawin.
Exactly.
Yung logic na yun, hindi yun existing sa iba eh.
Talagang satanic kapag yung may ginagawa na. Kaya anuhin mo pa.
Okay,
yeah, it's really affirming pag mga laiko ang nagpa-pantry, it's really affirming. For me, as a priest, it's innate already for us to help, no? Because that's part of who
Pero
we
baka,
are.
Father,
Pero
we can also reinforce that sa parishes.
Yeah.
I guess all
that's the challenge.
Communities can put up their own pantries as well.
And there is no shortage of food around us.
Yeah.
Kung maraming pantry and...
Ako, 6 o'clock na pala, pero as we end, baka meron, ito, Father at Iya, baka may gusto kayong sabihin pa na pinapangarap niyong matanong sana namin na hindi pa namin natanong. Anyone listening interested about this whole may mga questions, baka may gusto pa kayo ipaabot na gusto niyong maintindihan nila tungkol sa community pantry. Please feel free to address our listeners. Sino mo una? Sige, si Father na muna lang. Father po.
So, unang-una, nagpapasalamat po ako sa pag-imbita sa amin, mga Redentorista, para makashare po sa pantry. At tandaan po natin na tayo ay mabubuti at may kayahang tumulong. Nawa, huwag nating kalimutan yun as a Pilipino, kahit anuman ang ating kulay, relihiyon, o estado sa buhay. We could always give and be the witness of God's grace sa lahat. No? Kasi nga, wounded masyado ang ating mundo. At nawa tayo ay hindi maging parte ng problema, kundi parte tayo ng solution. And of course, as a Pilipino, nawa mag-stand tayo at mag-critique sa mga nangyayari sa ating lipunan, lalong-lalo na sa ating bansa. because we need it. And in that way, tayong lahat ay mabuhay ng mapayapa at mayroong hindi namumblema kung saan kukuha ng pagkain sa pang-araw-araw.
Tama.
Salamat po, Father.
Thank you, Father. We love you.
We love you,
We
Father.
pray for you. And
Salamat sa Redemptorist Priest po. Iya, kumusta naman?
Siguro, ayun, parang last words ay support the community pantries. Sa Loyola Heights, and I can speak for the Loyola Heights Pantry na mananatili lang siya doon as long as may nagbibigay. And super thankful talaga ako. Actually, very overwhelmed with the support that we've gotten through this 1 week of the pantry. And hopefully, parang we can sustain the efforts and ayun, take charge in our communities. Ayun, parang this is the time to be active and not really be passive with everything that's happening, and everything counts. So,
Alright.
ayun.
So maybe, hopefully, the office of Dr. De La Cruz will say, pwede nang magbigay ng assignment sa estudyante na lalabas, pwede na, pero bawal daw. Pero sana pwede na. Alright.
Challenge
naman,
sa all
sir.
atenista.
Ikaw, Sir Jovi. Kaya tanong kita kasi gusto ko rin magsalita mamaya eh. So, umauna na ako. In the past shows namin, ang aming pamagat ay laging pag-asa sa and kanina sabi rin ni Father na ay baka napaka-religious na pag-asa. Pero okay mag-alala, Father, in the past episodes namin po laging pag-asa sa Quincentennial. Sa akin, nung nangyari talaga ito, at nang unang nangyari ito bago ko maisip pa, nakita ko nangyari, nakita ko yung post na iba-ibang lugar meron. Talagang it felt like a miracle to me. Parang miracle kasi parang na-inspire ako, nabuhayan ako, natuwa ako na may idudulot na ganitong kabutihan yung paghihirap natin ngayon. Parang siyang liwanag sa akin bigla. So nakaka-inspire, nakakatayo mula sa upuan at parang gusto mo ano pa pwede kong gawin bigla. At nakakapukaw siya. Yun lang. Yun lang gusto ko lang wala sa nung nangyari to community pantry.
At maigi na patuloy natin siyang pag-usapan para lumabas lahat ng mga nais nating sabihin at para magkaroon siya ng tunay na kahulugan at mawala na ang agam-agam tungkol dito sa community pantry. At ito naman, ginagawa din natin ito ever since our work with the homeless. So, it's really amazing, but I'm not surprised, Ron. Hindi ako nagugulat kasi kung kilala natin ang ating bayan, ito lang naman talaga ang maaasahan natin. At yun sana ang maunawaan natin na meron tayong maaring asahan sa ating mahihirap.
At maraming salamat din sa mga nakinig sa atin, lalo na kay Kevin Lico. Sabi pa nga niya, this is also a big opportunity for the LGUs to collect data. So ang daming pwede pang makuha sa pantry, collect data on the needs of their constituents. So marami pa, hindi lang makatulog. So it's a napaka-potent niyang sistema o proyekto. So yan. So panatilihin natin.
So let 1,000 lugal bowls bloom. All right?
Yes. Panatilihin natin ang community pantry sa Diwa, sa Kamalayan at ibandera natin at pakilala at
gawin nating pandemya.
Gawin natin pandemya ng mga community pantry. Laganap na laganap. Okay. So nandito po ako ulit. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga nag-unlock.
Thanks, Iya.
We are
more
very
power
proud.
And my best to Rafa.
Okay.
And
so yun rin, Iya.
Father.
Okay.
All right.
Father din, maraming salamat.
Right?
And then, yun po, panatilihin natin. Mabuhay ang community pantry. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat sa
God
susunod
bless,
na
God
Lunes
bless.
po ulit.
Thank you. Bisita kayo sa Baclaran.
Yes, Father. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Iya.
Thank you. Thank you, Iya. Salamat po.
Jovi, Ron.
Yes, Father.
Salamat
Lundagin
po.
Mo, Beybeh.
Meron? Ano nga ba ang meron? Paano nga bang mabuhay ng tapat sa meron? Don't you wish you can relive your philo classes The terror teachers? The terrible oral exams? Or the even terrifying but liberating and life-changing aha moments? Lundagin mo, Beybeh! Here's your chance! Lundagin mo, Beybeh! Kasama ang mga pilosopong sina Jovi Miroy at Ron Capinding. Lundagin mo, Beybeh! Leaping upward, leaping forward. Lundagin mo, Beybeh! Leaping to greater heights, to greater wisdom, to greater magis. Lundag na, Ateneo!